There we go.
For my last time, this is the WDW Fan Zone Show. I'm Stuart, joined by Kurt, Jess, Darlene, John, and Lottie. Tonight we say farewell to moi, but the show will go on. And right now speaking of the show, we're gonna get into the latest, greatest news with the wonderful Jess.
Thank you so much. All right, we got a couple good things here for you today. Ray from Princess and the Frog Magnet is now unavailable in person, but visit the Creation Shop in Epcot and get a mini magnet. They may give you an option to mail order a Ray magnet so you can get one after all. I will be doing that tomorrow, so hopefully they have the option to do that. Because construction has been approved for Villains Land and Cars Land, along with the drainage of the rivers of America. Be on the lookout for construction to start soon. Level 99, a world of challenges, will be coming to Disney Springs. It is physical and mental challenges in different categories for teams of 2 to 6, mainly for adults, ranging from $35.99 to $55.99, depending on how long you want to play. There will also be a 2-story bar and pizza and burgers and much more. We do not have an opening timeline yet, so check back for more info. Starting Tuesday, February 25th, Disney will no longer be using virtual queues for Tiana's Bayou Adventure and Magic Kingdom and Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind in Epcot. These 2 attractions will use the standby, as well as the Lightning Lane Multipass for Tiana and the Lightning Lane Single Pass for Guardians. Jelly Rolls in Disney's Boardwalk will be closing. April 19th is the last night to catch the dueling pianos. Boat transportation from Old Key West to Disney Springs will be temporarily unavailable from now until early April. Please plan to use the resort buses if you are staying there. Don't forget to check park hours, show times, and closures before planning your trip, and check again once you arrive to see if they've changed, because they do, and sometimes without much warning. The Walt Disney World area is expecting normal weather for this time of year, highs in the mid to low 70s and lows in the mid to high 50s. Mornings will be chilly and days will be very comfortable. Sunny skies all week. And that's the latest Disney news, straight to you from Central Florida. And for the last time, back to you, Stuart.
All right, Jess, thank you very much.
Thank
I
you.
appreciate all you've done for the show and will continue to do for the show under John's direction when he takes over in about a week or so as we transition over there. And I will get into the reason why I'm leaving later on. But right now, I just want to say goodbye to Jess, and I appreciate everything you've done for the show and for WDW Fan Zone.
It's not goodbye. It's see you real soon.
That's right.
All right. See you real soon, everyone else.
Bye, Jess.
Bye-bye.
All right. So as I mentioned, we're going to get into the topic right now. I forget what the topic was. We're going to be talking about things that we can do to make our Disney vacation extra special. And you know what, Kurt, why don't you kick us off with that, with what you do when you come here?
Something just to be extra special. If you want to change things up just a little bit, just go see a show like Drawn to Life. It's not something you're going to do every time, but it was just the change we needed on that last trip. It's not something you're going to do every time, but hey, just go watch a show. If you don't want to watch a show, go watch a movie. Go watch a Disney movie in the theater. So just try something new.
Yeah. How about you, Darlene? Like, what would you do if you were staying here on property? Or not come down?
What we always try doing is doing something brand new. Once we did the Wild African Trek. We've done the Keys to the Kingdoms tour. Those are things that you're only going to do once in a lifetime. I still want to do the Seeds tour at Epcot.
We did that. Awesome tour.
Yeah, I've heard that's a really good one. So That's my next one to do, even though I'm living here now.
Yeah, that's something I've yet to do. I'm actually waiting for my daughter to come down with her boyfriend because that's his favorite attraction. So that would be an appropriate time for us to do the behind
Oh,
the scenes.
absolutely.
All right, John, how about yourself?
Well, I'm just going to piggyback on what Kurt said, just for a couple of examples. So I agree with going to see a show. Two other examples of that would be going to one of the Garden Rocks or Eat to the Beat concerts.
Yes.
And there's lots of acts or groups available to see there. Hopefully you land on one that you want to see while you're there. And the other one is Yeehaw Bob, who puts on a fabulous show
Yes.
over at Port Orleans Riverside. So yeah, I agree with Kurt there. I think that's a great thing to do. Something that I would add, and I've actually done this once, and it is to order something through Disney's Magical Floral and Gifts. So you can order something to have it in the room before you get there. And they have different packages. It could be flowers or balloons or little gifts, and they'll put them there in the room, depending on what it is. And it's a neat little surprise for your family. I did that once for Kelly when we were on a trip, and show up in the room and it's all decorated or there's something there as a surprise. So you can go out and look for Magical Floral and Gifts on the Disney website and get some more details there.
John, I thought they disbanded that a couple of years ago.
They have it advertised.
They do. Okay, good. I don't know. Is it third party now? I'm wondering if that's what they're doing.
No, it's well, I don't know who fulfills it, but it's part of the standard Disney World website.
Okay. I'm glad it's still there. That's definitely an important thing for them to have. All right, Lottie.
Something special that you can do for yourself? Is that what the
Lottie's
question
done it
is?
all.
Well, no, the something special that you could do for yourself is don't take anybody else with you. Go alone. Solo travel is the best. You can do whatever you want, whatever you feel like it, eat whatever you want, whenever you feel like it, ride whatever you want, whenever you feel like it. And it is a completely different trip than traveling with folks. I love my family and I will go with them, but there's absolutely nothing better than a solo trip.
I'm glad I'm not Lottie's daughters and husband right now. Actually, I'm glad I'm not you right now because you're going to be in Chateau La Bow Wow.
Yeah, I just got stink eye from the little one on the couch.
Oh,
I'm going to break this down a little bit. I'm not going to go through my whole list, but something I think people should do is create a wish list before they go to the parks, the things they want to do that would make it extra special. And one of those things that I would do is book a character and special meal. Special meal doesn't mean it has to have characters. You know, it could be, what is it, Victoria and Albert's, the chef's table, but you have to have mucho bucks for that. So if you're one of the 1%ers, you could do that. If you're not, well, join the rest of the club along with us.
yeah. Or one of the buffets,
Yeah.
Husker House or Garden Grill or Crystal Palace.
Crystal Palace is a good one. What's the other one? There's one on the boardwalk. Why can't I think of the name? And I've been there so many.
Cape May.
I'm sorry?
Cape May.
No, Cape May doesn't have characters.
Oh, characters. Okay.
Oh, God. There is one. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of the wrong place. I don't know.
I thought Cape May had characters for breakfast at least.
Oh, you're right. They do. I think they do for breakfast, not for dinner.
Yeah, they got everybody but Mickey, right? I think that's what I
Yeah.
remember.
I think I was thinking of another restaurant, though, but who knows? I'm very disorganized today, so you can see. Why go out normal when I can go out, or I'm sorry, why go out doing the show normal when I can do it the way I always do it, just unprepared and not knowing what I'm doing. All right, Kurt.
Okay, another one. If you've traveled there a lot, you have a tendency to go all the time to the same spots because you like seeing things always from the same spot. So instead of always going Like we do our picture spot, which is going away. Thank goodness we got a picture over with the snowman before they tear it apart. But Cinderella fireworks, or I'm sorry, happily ever after fireworks. We always want to be so you can see the Cinderella Castle and all the projections and everything, or everything down Main Street. But you can get some awesome photos over in Frontierland. So, and I'm holding up a picture of the fireworks coming down over the top of the steamship, and it's it's a beautiful spot to take the photos from. The music is still there. No, you're not seeing the projection that's on top of the castle, but it's just another view. Someone recommended it to me, and I'm like, oh, let me give it a shot. And I was so just enamored by how good those fireworks project over the top of the ship and uh, Haunted Mansion. It's right in between there. Picture frames it. So give that a try sometime. So just something different. Look at it from a different viewing point, I guess.
Yeah. Darlene.
Well, another thing that we like to do that we started doing towards the end of our flying down and visiting all the time was that we liked to go and visit different hotels and have a meal, not in just the hotel we were staying at or at the food court or something. We enjoyed walking around in that. And that's always a good way to check out another resort without staying at that resort. Because when you're on property, you can get into them a lot easier, especially if you're on one of the monorails or the boats or something.
That's how you have to get around it. If you're going to travel by car, you have to have a reservation. Or
yes.
Or we did quick service over at Wilderness Lodge, and we literally had to show them this is our menu. We've already made it, and the guy clicked here and said, "Okay, go in and get it." So we couldn't just cancel our meal at the last second. We had to actually go and get it. But it's great.
John. You're up, John.
No, I'm sorry. I was having trouble. So something else that it's just something we've talked about trying things different, but something straightforward that I think might make your trip a little more special and different is to do either try rope drop for a day if you've never done it
That's
before,
intense.
or to stay late and close one of the parks and get to see like the Kiss Goodnight or you just get to be in the parks when most of the other guests have already left. So it's just a whole different thing. And if you're there with your family, you might have that opportunity to make it a special moment for you and your family.
Lottie. Try to include your family this time.
Yeah, okay, I was. John he just took mine. This is one of the and he's within earshot. One of the few times that Kyle was right. We had reservation at Olga's Cantina at Hollywood Studios, and it was a really, really late reservation. And so by the time we left, Hollywood Studios was completely empty, and he just wanted to enjoy Galaxy's Edge with no people. But I was worried about getting to our dinner reservation, and so I was trying to rush him out. And I really should have just lost the money on the reservation and enjoyed being in the park after close with no guests there. It's a really amazing experience. It's pretty cool and quite romantic if I had taken the opportunity to enjoy it that time, and I did not. So, Kyle, you were right.
Major photo op.
Something I think is special in itself is staying at a Disney World resort. I don't care if it's a value resort or a deluxe resort, it doesn't matter. Just being on property and being totally, totally immersed in everything Disney while you're there, it just makes it extra special. If you're staying at the Holiday Inn or a Marriott someplace else, you're missing out on a lot. Notwithstanding the early entry or late stay in the park, you're really missing out on a lot. And that's something I would highly recommend if you can afford it. All right, Kurt, we're back to you.
All right. We try to make a habit once a year of trying somewhere new to eat. So we look at a lot of menus. So our next trip is sometime in the summer. We just got done in January. Now we're getting ready to go back again for a trip that's 6 months away. So plan somewhere that you've never tried before. You might like it. You might not. If you don't go back. Go somewhere else next time. But try somewhere new. Again, it's getting out of that rut. But so many food choices. And where we're going, there's no festivals going on, so we can't just eat our way around Epcot.
Darlene.
You know, one of the things that we like to do too is don't feel like you can't change your meals up. If you feel like you want to have ice cream for lunch, have ice cream for lunch or for dinner or for breakfast. It doesn't matter. We've had our Ghirardelli stop and it was lunchtime and we just had big sundaes or the Noe Jose at the boardwalk. I love those. If you can get a beach club reservation and get your Noe Jose while you're there.
Or a kitchen sink. All right,
I've
John.
never had a coconut rum Dole Whip at 9:30, 10 o'clock in the morning. I don't know what you're talking about. So no.
I love getting the blue or pink donuts from Joffrey's in Epcot.
Oh.
So yes, go ahead and splurge. Yes.
Yep.
So Stuart had mentioned about staying at any resort, and I agree with that. If you've stayed at value and moderate, and you've never stayed at a Magic Kingdom resort, I would recommend staying at one of the Magic Kingdom resorts, especially if you're a Magic Kingdom fan. So just to add to what Stuart said, and I'm going to turn one of Lottie's on its head. So she talked about doing solo travel. One of the things that I found makes a special trip for me is to go on a trip with friends. So especially if you have friends that appreciate Walt Disney World and the Disney parks, traveling with friends can add something special, even over and above your own family, that we've done before, and I've always created great memories from doing that.
Yeah. Why?
So I usually try to save up for a splurge gift, something that I can buy in the parks that may cost a little bit more than I'm willing to spend on myself on an everyday basis. So, and it just happened to be sitting right here on the floor because I took it yesterday. The Princess Tiana Dooney and Burke bag. One of my absolute favorite bags to carry. But it was a Disney purchase, and I will be looking for another bag soon. We'll hopefully they've got some pretty cool stuff at the parks during my next visit because I'm ready for another one.
Yeah, let's see what's next on my list. That's good. Making the most of your time in the parks. I mean, a lot of time people will just go to the parks with a plan or maybe no plan at all, but they find themselves just standing there. Okay, what do we do next? Where do we go? How do we spend our time? Maximize your time to the best of your ability with the things you want to do, and knowing that you're not going to be able to do everything you want to do. And I'm not going to get into the lightning lanes and what you can get and what you can't get and how they work, because that's not what we're here for today. But try to, if A is busy, go to B. If B has a long line, go to C. C could be a show. It's just keep moving in a process that will avoid the lines and take away the magic from your day as best you can. All right, Kurt. I don't know if
Doing
I.
that, I would make sure you avoid zigzagging though.
Yes.
So I knew people who wanted to go Frontierland, Tomorrowland,
Right.
Fantasyland,
Yeah.
Adventureland. It's like I feel like we're playing pinball.
Yep.
So and it just then they're exhausted and they're tired, and by 3 o'clock I want to go home. Set a pattern, work your way around, find the where you want to go to. So I agree. Now building off of I'm sorry.
You'll get more done that way too.
Also true. So building off of what John was talking about with going with friends, some of our favorite trips was when we had 8 people on the trip, and we all worked together as to what we wanted to do. But going with friends helps your kids step outside of the box, and because they might even behave a little bit better because they're with their friends and not just with you. So if they see their friends wanted to do something, they may want to do it too, and they don't want to make a big deal about it or a big fuss. So that can be helpful. Now, stepping forward on that, the summer trip, what's making it extra special is we actually have someone going along that's never been before. And I already warned them there will be a lot of photos, there will be a lot of video and things like that, because we all know it can be so overwhelming. They may not remember very much of anything. So I can remember going back in the 90s when it was like, wait, did we do this? I don't remember. Oh, wait, did we do this? I don't remember, because we were just kind of going through without a plan. So, and I know this person's going to just follow our lead, but I want to get expression so they can realize how happy they looked at this point or this point. I mean, come on. First time you're seeing fireworks, the first time you see the castle, the first time you walk into any of the parks, anything like that. So seeing through somebody else's eyes, I guess, is what I'm trying to say.
But that's always
Makes it
special,
just-
especially your own kids. That's
Yeah.
like the most special thing. All right, Darlene.
One of the other things I don't want to discount is there are so many different things you can do at Disney Springs nowadays. There's a lot of like different little venues with performers and musical people, and that you can go and see a show. You can go bowling. There's so many different things you can do at Disney Springs at night. Say you don't want to do something in a park or after Animal Kingdom closes, say at 6 o'clock, or the park happens to close. Magic Kingdom sometimes closes at 4 for a special event. Know that you can go to Disney Springs and there's probably something you can find to do there.
Yeah. You mentioned bowling. Now, most places where people live, you have a bowling alley.
Yeah.
But there's a reason Disney Springs has one. It's not there just because they needed a bowling alley. It's there because they know people are going to use it.
Yeah.
So even though it might not be something I might do, there might be 1,000 other people out there that say, well, I can't wait to bowl at Disney Springs because I'm sure they have some kind of Disney magic going on in there.
Mm-hmm.
Not to mention the food.
I heard the food is really good there.
Yes. All right, John.
Well, this is going to be, and we've talked about a few splurges today, and this is another one of them. And it is to look at having a photo session with you and your family. And you can do it at the different parks. You can do it at Magic Kingdom, Epcot, Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios, you can do it at Batuu and some other locations, Animal Kingdom. And it's a 20-minute session where you have a dedicated PhotoPass photographer. There's a little bit of a catch, so that the price for doing that is $99 for the 20 minutes, which doesn't sound so bad. It's a very special thing, but you have to pay extra for the prints or downloads once the session is done. My wife and I did that some years ago, back at the Polynesian, actually, where we had photos taken around the Polynesian, and we still have them hanging on the wall to this day. So it's just another option for something that's different, and you probably, a lot of guests haven't done before, and it can, again, provide you with long-term memories of the special occasion or trip.
I have a question about that. If, like, my sister's an annual pass holder, she's got the photo attached to it, the photo pass, whatever it is, that's attached to it. So all the photo pass photographers are, she gets those for the whole year. Would having a photographer be able to do it? Can you get it for free then, or are you still paying extra because it's a private package?
You'd at least have to pay for the photographer's time. I
Right.
didn't see anything on the page about whether you could get the downloads for free if you had Memory Maker.
Memory Maker, right? That's what I was trying
But
to say.
I don't know that answer.
Okay. No, I was just curious because I obviously didn't know the answer either.
Okay. Lottie.
Bar hop. I mean, there are some freaking amazing bars at Disney World.
Let's talk to the adults in the room and not the kids.
But seriously, like some of my favorite bars of all time are at Disney World. Everything from Jock Lindsay's Hanger Bar at Disney Springs to Trader Sam's and Nomad Lounge at Tiffin's, Abracadabra at Boardwalk, Enchanted Rose over at where's that one at? That one's at Grand Floridian, right?
Grand Floridian.
A whole Aloha Lounge or Ohana Lounge over at the Polynesian. Just go to the bar. I mean, honestly, I could have a whole day, no park ticket, and just bar hop and be so okay with it.
Animal Kingdom Lodge has a nice one too.
Stuart, the kids are the guides, by the way. They walk up. Here's the next bar, Mom.
You don't have to worry about it if it's a solo trip.
You don't.
Well, this is also true.
Olga's Cantina, if you can get in.
Been there, done that.
There were numerous videos on YouTube of people getting arrested at Disney World because they've gone bar hopping and they've gotten a little bit too drunk. And the beauty of bar hopping, I would think, is after you've gone to a couple, you don't know where you are after that. So it doesn't matter what bar you wind up in.
La Cava in the Mexico Pavilion. Like, I could keep going on and on. There's so many fantastic bars. Listen,
Folks, drink responsibly.
Bring it in closely. 1, drink responsibly. 2, if you can't hold your alcohol, don't mess with it.
Stop.
Just quit. Yeah. But it's a good time.
Wow.
Baseline Tap
How do I follow that?
Me and Darlene went to Baseline. That was a great one.
That was a great time.
Geyser Point. I met some friends at Geyser Point over at Wilderness Lounge. It's outside. They got the bison burger.
Oh, that was good.
I don't know what's scarier, that bar hop has become like a thing to make your trip special, or that Disney isn't magical enough anymore that you need to bar hop to make it special.
No, that's the magic though, right? Because the mixologists have created some amazing drinks that you can't get anywhere else. And the bar at Space 220, they put cotton candy in it and then they pour the drink over it and it melts the cotton candy and it's delicious.
Lottie, we need to make a date.
I did not like the fuzzy tom tom.
Oh, the fuzzy tom tom.
It makes your face numb and stuff.
That's the fun of it. That's the fun of it. Your face is all numb, and then you're trying to talk, and your lip is doing like this. It's great.
What is it? Is it the yub nub that you can get where you get the glass, the big glass over there?
I don't remember. I think
it's called the yub nub. That was good. All I remember was they filled that thing up with ice and they put it in there. And I'm like, I'm not getting very much alcohol. And walking out of there going, holy cow, that was all alcohol.
Oh,
and
yes.
It's people drink responsibly. I luckily was walking and getting on a Skyliner after that because I actually went to go meet Darlene after that, and I was not. Yeah, like, you want a drink? No, I'm good. I don't need another drink. I'm good, thank you.
Everybody out there that's listening to this, just please do yourself a favor and go to YouTube and just type in people drunk at Disney World. You'll see tons of security videos up there, people getting arrested and kicked out and trespassed from the parks for just that. And
we drink responsibly.
Maybe we'll drink responsibly the next time you go.
It's almost as bad as people of Walmart.
Yeah. Oh God.
Yeah,
Well,
those
it's a
are
little
scary.
better than people at Walmart because usually folks have clothes on.
Well, this is true. They're taken away because the clothes are coming off. That is very true.
All right. Anyway, I'm going to piggyback a little bit off of what John said with the photo session, and you know, utilize PhotoPass. That's something you really should take advantage of, especially if you're there with, you know, whether it's your children, if they're, doesn't matter how young or old they are, your special significant other, maybe generational or multi-generational vacation. You know, we see so many people now in groups where they all have the same T-shirts on. So take advantage of the photo pass. Those are memories you'll have forever. All right, Kurt, we are back to you.
Now, with the photo pass, realize also that if you do buy the lightning lane, oh, I'm sorry, if you buy the multi pass, you actually will get the attraction photos from the park that have the attraction photos.
Mhm.
So, you know, Pirates of the Caribbean, Haunted Mansion, Buzz Lightyear Space Ranger Spin are the three I know of, and Tron if you get on the Tron. So those four attractions, um, Space Mountain, they're all included once you've paid for it. So take advantage of that. You know, they're nickel and diming you. Take that back, nickel and dime them back. Take advantage of that. Moving forward, though, don't be afraid to get a pin if you're celebrating something special, because it's going to help you have conversations with cast members. And even if you don't have the pen, don't be afraid to have conversations with cast members. They're doing the same doldrum day in, day out. How many? How many? You got a quick pause where they're able to breathe. If you recognize they're from the city nearby you, be like, "Oh, wait a minute, you're from, you know, Naperville. Hey, I live right over here in a nearby town called Chicago," you know, something like that. And they'll be like, "Oh, wow. Oh, man, I miss it so much. Oh, yeah." Or, "Hey, I work in your town. Oh, hey, that's so cool." And they just get excited because it's been so long, probably for a lot of them, since they actually spoke to someone in the town. I had someone ask me, "What's the weather like there right now? I really miss this, this, and this. Is this restaurant still open?" So we had a conversation for a couple minutes until it was time for us to actually board. But they do it. They like that interaction. It's not just them doing, "Oh yeah, okay, hey, yeah, cool, cool, thanks, yeah, bye." No, sometimes they really are interested in what's going on,
Okay.
especially if it's your first trip or your birthday.
Mhm. Yep, that's a good one. I forgot to put that on my list, but that's a real good one. All right, Darlene.
I know one of the things I did on one of my trips was I had a wedding coming up, and um
You got married again?
my no my cousin I had a wedding coming up, and my cousin's son's future wife loves Disney. Loves everything is Disney. And they did a Disney themed wedding. So the one thing I was able to get them were the ears, the bride and groom ears with their names engraved on them and that. And you can find those still at Disney Springs is where I got mine. They had a very nice, fast, speedy selection. I believe you could still get them done in Magic Kingdom also.
Do you remember where it was at Disney Springs?
Yes, it was near the artist store.
Right, it's
In
attached to it.
Yeah, right next to it. It was kind of connected and stuff nearby, down by Rainforest Cafe.
Right, it's just past the Christmas house. I just can't
Yeah,
think of the name of it.
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh God. I go. Man,
It's
every
on the
time I
tip of
go to
my
Disney
tongue and I
World,
can't
Disney
remember.
Springs, I go in there. I can't think of the name.
Yeah, we just walked through there this last
We
trip.
just call it the
So
art store.
yeah,
Yeah, the art store. They got
ju-
Swarovski
just
in there. They've got
yeah, don't
artists in
touch
there. Everything.
and don't back up without looking where you're going. It might cost you about $3,000.
Yeah,
Yeah,
especially if you have a
exactly.
backpack
On a
on.
good day.
Yeah, yeah. Careful if you have. Yeah, I don't wear a backpack when I go into that building.
A lot of times when you're there, if there is an artist working, you can get an autographed art piece
Mhm.
that they're working on. So if you want something special, look into that.
Just to quickly mention along those lines, if there's in the American Pavilion, there's an art store now.
Mm-hmm.
That it's not as good as the one in Disney Springs, but it's so much better than what was there before. I mean, it's not a bad place to go.
Right.
All right, John.
I have one more thing to add to the photo pass that you both shared some things, and that is to look for magic shots. And if you're not familiar with magic shots, that's where certain photographers in certain locations will add Disney characters into the finished product. And one of the ways you can certainly go out and do some searching ahead of time to get some idea where they are, but one of the ways you can kind of tell that a photographer is doing these is if they're having the people that they're photographing looking in a certain direction, or having a surprised look or a scared look, or holding their hands out. So those are clues that what is going on there is going to be a Disney character inserted. So those can be some special photo pass pictures to take home with you. The other thing that I wanted to share was, and it's very simple, and that is to consider purchasing a drink mug or a popcorn bucket, so that you have a chance to stop different places, especially resorts, to get your drink mug filled up, see some different resorts you haven't been to. Or if you got a popcorn bucket and you can go up to you can go up and get a refill for a reduced price at one of the different popcorn stands within the park, as well as having an additional souvenir to take home with you.
Okay, Lottie. Are we going to get the alcohol version this time or a non-alcohol version?
Yeah, no, the alcohol version is probably my favorite tip to make the trip special. Get the Dole Whip with coconut rum in Animal Kingdom.
Tasty.
So tasty. Pay attention to details. There's
Yes.
so many details in the parks that people, when you rush from one attraction to the next, that you miss. And so it can make a trip really special if you intentionally take the time to look for hidden Mickeys,
Bingo.
or if you take the time to pay attention to details. For example, there's the store behind the castle at the Magic Kingdom, and you can see Willie the Giant like lifting up the roof and peeking under, and there's the beanstalk growing up the side. There,
Mhm.
people don't pay attention to that stuff all the time because they're there to shop, right? But there's all these little details that you can hang memories on, right? And point out. And the Willie the Giant one I mentioned is because it's one of Charlotte's favorite Disney details in the park.
Mhm.
And so as long as she is visiting the parks, every time she sees that giant, she's going to remember being there with mom. And you make memories, riding the carousel and whatever else that you rode. But it's the little memories around the details are what I think people remember the most.
Yep.
And I got a nod. She's nodding, so that's
Yeah.
a good.
Brave Little Tailor. It used to be called the Brave Little Tailor.
Yes. Yeah.
Is it Sir Mickey's now?
It is
I
Sir
think
Mickey's.
so.
That's the name of the shop. I couldn't think of it. Thanks, John. But there are lots of details. There's lots of stuff all over the place that the giant footprints in Toy
Toy
Story
Story. Yep.
from Andy.
Mhm.
The peanuts that are in the ground around Dumbo, right? They're just a bunch of little cute little things that you point out and your kids remember
Mhm.
and you remember, and
Do
you
you
tell
rem-
stories to them.
Sorry. Do you remember when they first put those peanuts in the ground? There were parents complaining that their kids who suffered from peanut allergies were getting sick because of those peanuts. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
I think it's the parents who are a little sick,
most likely.
or maybe they were
They
brought
those details, right down to when you walk into Toy Story Land, everything. Like if you walk into the Toy Story Midway Mania, as you walk in, you just keep shrinking smaller and smaller till you are the size of a toy. And they do the same thing in Ratatouille. The tiles go from being small to you go around the corner, all of a sudden the tiles are huge and you're the size of the rat. So those details are just incredible.
Yes, they are. I've got 2 left on my list. So,
If you pay attention.
autograph books for characters. Especially if you're a child. Even though Mickey is by like a 18-year-old little boy or girl or young man or woman, you don't know. The kid doesn't know that, and they get Mickey's autograph or Minnie's autograph. It's like the greatest thing, and they'll have that. That's a memory that they will always cherish. So always bring those autograph books. All right.
Have them sign on one side and flip to the next page. Leave a page open so that if you have a picture of Mickey Mouse here, or I'm sorry, if you have Mickey's autograph on the next page next to it, leave that one open because you're going to take a photo opportunity with Mickey right after he signs. Have that photo of Mickey right there next to it. So don't just sign every page, go every other page. That's how you're going to want to do it. So, Darlene, it's called Disney's Wonderful World of Memories.
Oh, thank you.
Where you can get those hats done. One of my last ones here. There's so many festivals going on, and hey, everything we talk about in this show, and obviously I'm guilty with it too. Food. So we go to the festivals. We're like, what's the food that's going on? Well, we just went down there for the art festival. Festival of the Arts, and we actually took the time to walk around and look at the art. Just take our time through each of them and look at what these guys have done. There's some incredible photos that these, or paintings and anything else that these people have done. Just take the time to do that beyond just, okay, hey, over here is the food that I want to try. So, and the food's good. It's not just the treats. A lot of times we're thinking, oh, Dole Whip or this other concoction over here or whatever. Take it all in. So you don't always have to just like rush to the next attraction and say, oh yeah, that's cool, I'll come back to it. Take the time and actually look at it.
Yeah. All right, Darlene.
So my last thing is to mention that I had on my list was I always liked having something that I could have a memory of. I'm a big person that likes to wear jewelry. So when they started coming out with the charms, right now it's Pandora has the charms and Alex and Ani have the bracelets. I have a number of those, but those are a nice remembrance that you can have forever. And they do have other jewelry and stuff too. I have friends that have gotten the necklaces and stuff like that with Mickey Mouse on them and that. If you want something like that, that's a great piece that is timeless. It'll last forever.
All right, John.
You're gonna have to stay with me for a moment on this one because it's not meant to be something that I do, and it's not for everybody. Something that I think is for almost everybody is to sign up for a Run Disney 5K. And when I say that, that's so that you have the opportunity to see the parks in a way you've never seen them before, and you don't have to run. You can walk. So if you sign up for a 5K, pick a 5K, one of the 4 different race times throughout the year that you've seen is going to be in a park or area that you want to see. Sign up for that. And you walk 9, 10, 12 miles a day in the Disney parks as it is. So you could walk for 3 miles. If you're capable of walking for 3 miles, you can do the 5K. Again, you get a chance to see the park in ways you haven't seen before, some of the backstage areas you haven't seen before. See, it's going to be dark, because the 5K starts early and you're going to have to get up early, but it adds excitement to your trip. Looking forward to that, getting a medal when you're done, getting a souvenir shirt to go along with it. So if you've never tried it before and you think you could walk 3 miles, I would recommend you give it a try.
Well, me and Kurt will watch.
Where's that nearest trash can where we can stop and eat the food while they're walking?
Yeah.
We'll cheer 'em on.
Listen, you guys walk more than that. Just walk around the park. You can handle one
You,
5.
and you
I
have
know,
said,
exactly.
you've said
but
how
it's
many
supposed to
miles.
be money to walk around the
Yeah,
park.
we walked
Well,
over
it does.
60 miles on that last trip. So yeah, or no, I guess it was about 45 or 50 miles the last trip. It
Yeah,
was 4
when
days.
my daughter was here a couple of weeks ago, I walked 7.6 miles in Epcot.
Mhm.
You could absolutely do a 5K.
Yep.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
We could, but that doesn't mean we will.
Right.
There's a difference.
All right, Lottie.
So I don't have anything else on my list, but I have a tiny Disney fan here that is insisting that the only way to make a trip truly special is to have a Dole Whip.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
And so no matter what you do, it's not really a Disney vacation unless you've gone to Aloha Isle and had a Dole Whip. And
I
so
completely agree with that. Excellent tip.
with rum.
All right. Well,
I don't think she's supposed to be having that.
yeah.
No. I have kept
I
her
bet the
Dole
shoes
Whips
upstairs.
clean, but Mama's will have rum in it.
Don't mix those two up. That would be bad.
So my last one, it's kind of in connection with the last one that I mentioned with the autographed books, are meet and greets. And I've seen not just kids get excited for the characters there. I've seen grown, blah, 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 people get really excited to see their favorite character or a Disney character or a Pixar character or a Muppet character, whoever they come across. I mean, I've seen people go Looney Tunes for a couple of the characters that are grown-ups. And the kids, you expect the excitement from the kids, but that just shows you how these characters have made an impression on people from the time they're little till the time they, our age. So, that's my last tip. To make it special, do those meet and greets.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else have any other tips? Things they want to mention, how you can make your trip special, or are we all exhausted our list?
I have one more.
Go ahead.
Don't be afraid to window shop. So there might be a shop that you're like, I really don't think there's going to be anything in there that either I'm going to be able to afford or that I'm really going to want. And example, the last time we walked into the Vera Bradley shop, my wife was looking at one of those shoulder bags. It's a sling bag that just goes over the top. And it was with all the Mickey Mouses all over it. And she goes, oh, wow, I really like this. And she was looking at it and hemming and hawing back and forth if she wanted to buy it. And the cast member walked over and she goes, you do realize those are 30% off today? Okay, done. Boom. So if we hadn't have walked in and window shopped, it's literally the shoulder bag that she's been looking for that she could take to the parks for like a year.
Mm-hmm.
And then she found it there at a Vera Bradley shop that you're always like, again, sometimes you don't necessarily want to spend that much money because it's normally like $100 bag, something like that. But I'm not going to use it that much. Oh, 30% off? Let me give it a shot. Why not?
I've been with people on trips to Disney World or in the parks where they'll go into a shop, they're interested in something, and they'll ask the cast members, are there any discounts on these items today? So, and they will tell you, they're very upfront about it. So yeah, that's a good tip. Anybody else have anything?
I just have something very simple to finish off what I have, and that is to consider scheduling a return trip so that, first of all, you may not have to feel like you need to rush around quite as much on this trip or for the next trip coming up. And you're going to automatically build excitement and anticipation for that next trip
Yep.
to carry over. So not everybody, might be able to do that for vacation time, planning wise, money, whatever, but it's something to consider that could help build the anticipation and excitement for your current trip leading into a second one.
We had friends that did that, and they literally saved like 40% on their next trip, because if you book within I think they had 5 days to decide, boom, done. And it was just an incredible deal that they give you if you're doing it right away, like you're talking about.
Yeah, I was going to mention something along that line. I remember Disney used to leave in your resort room to book your
Bounce
next
back.
trip with discounts. And are they still doing? I know they stopped for a little bit. Are they still doing it?
Now they send you emails.
So okay, but at least you're getting something, so you know.
Right,
Yeah.
right. They
It's
know
like
you're
going on
there.
a cruise,
Yeah.
and doing next cruise where you get some kind of incentive to come back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's good. All right, so I guess that brings us to me. Why I have decided to step away from WDW Fan Zone. Now, I started blogging way back. Let's see, I can't see my own handwriting here. February, I think it was beginning of February 2009, with a blog called the Disney Geek Tech blog. And it was just my passion and love for Disney that drew me to doing things like that, to hopefully help people, to express my own passion for Disney and help people out there that might need some assistance. And that turned into WDW Fan Zone, which was started in January 14th of 2011. When did I shut the site down? That was in 21 or 22. I don't even remember.
I think it was 21. I think we made it 10 years.
21, I think. Yeah. The site was shut down, but I continued on with the show. But unfortunately, over the last few years, things, and this has nothing to do with me living here in Florida. I don't like the direction Disney's been going. It was a gradual, this was happening gradually for years, but the last, I want to say 4 or 5 years, it was like a sledgehammer that Disney took, and they created class systems, with the lightning lanes, and it just changed the experience in the parks. And please don't get me wrong, I love Disney, I love going to the parks, but if I can't pour my heart and soul into something, I don't want to do it anymore. And I've felt like that for a couple of years, and I've been pushing myself, hoping things would change. And I just don't like the direction Disney's going in. I understand they're a business, they have to make money, but they essentially have cut out everyone but the rich. They've catered to the rich. They've decided, and I think it's a losing strategy, but what do I know? Where their business mantra is, we're going to charge so much money that it'll reduce the population of the park, so only the people who can afford to come will come and spend money. Well, guess what? They're not even coming anymore to the extreme that they were a couple of years ago, when everybody was spending their, what was it? What do you call that? Revenge vacation, or whatever that was called. The stimulus money.
Yeah, stimulus.
Revenge vacationing. And it's just sad to see that Disney has completely put profits over guest experience as their number one priority. I think you can do both, and I think they have to figure it out. And I think it's something that's going to be very difficult for them. But to that effect, it's just like it hasn't killed my passions for the parks, but it's just something I just can't, in my gut, come on here each week and continue to go on like nothing's wrong, when I believe there's something very serious wrong with parks. And that's just my opinion. And a lot of people will disagree with it. Some will agree with it. But that's the basic reason why I'm stepping away. And I don't know if you guys want to say anything, or we can end the show right here.
I can respect that. If the passion's not there, then it's, like you said, it's time to move on.
Yeah.
So
I just
I
want to say
agreed with you. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. You're done.
No, I was just going to say I agreed with you when you decided to shut down the fan zone for all our blogs, because it just got to the point of where it was too hard to come up with topics month after month after month after 10 years.
Yeah.
So I understand that. I respect that.
Yeah, and the other thing is, I'm no youngster anymore. I'm getting up there, and I can't see myself doing this forever. That doesn't mean I won't come back and try to do something else at some point. What that is, I don't know. But I've been keeping myself busy doing a lot of other things, including going to the parks. And that's just where I am. It's life moves on, things change, and you move along with it. All right.
I just wanted to say thank you so much for getting me involved way back in 2011.
Well, look, I want to thank you guys, and I do want to mention a bunch of thank yous to you guys here, all the people I wrote and did this show on and off for years, and you guys that are still doing the show. I greatly appreciate your time. This was all volunteer that everybody did. Nobody's paying anyone here. We were fortunate to have a sponsor that covered our costs for and gifts that we or giveaways for WDW fans, and that's Becky Mankin and Mass Fan Travel, who was a sponsor for the website for years, and we continue to plug and promote her. You're not going to find a better travel planner or planners than Mass Fan Travel. It's also MEI travel, and I think they do Universal travel. They're great. They really are. Lou Mangello. If it weren't for Lou Mangello, I don't even know if I would have known what a podcast was. He wasn't the first podcast I listened to. It was actually WDW Today with Matt Hatchberg, Len Testa, Mike Newell, and Mike Scopa. That was the first one I listened to, along with, I hate to mention it, but I will, it is unplugged. But I realized that they were a little bit too negative for me and stopped listening to them after a while. And then I found Lou through WDW Today. And Lou really just stoked my passion for Disney at the time. And I, so I owe a debt to Lou and Becky and all you guys, especially you guys right here. And of course, I can't forget all our viewers and listeners out there through the years, all one of them. I'm kidding. Without you driving us to do for you, to help you find your ways around the parks and make it a better trip for yourself, I don't know if we would have been here as long as we have. So I want to thank everybody for that. So on that note, everybody be safe, be yourself. Bye-bye.
I just want to say thank you, Stuart, and everybody else. Don't worry, this is not going to be like the Tiki Room under new management. John's got a vision for us. We're going to be okay. So good night, everybody.
Next.
Oh yeah, that's me. I'm all emotional. Thank you so much, Stuart, for giving this girl from Flint a voice in this community. I appreciate you. See you real soon.
Have a magical night. Stay safe. Pack your sunscreen, some warm clothes because it's a tad chilly this week. And again, thank you so much, Stuart, for letting me be part of your world for all these years. And now to be part of John's.
Thank you.
Well, I have to say goodbye to Stuart in my own unique way. And so this Johnny here is from the north, but I know that there's another one from the south side that is near and dear to Stuart. So I'm hoping that this resonates with him. And I want to say, I know that it's getting late, but I don't want you to go. There's a little fractured south side Johnny there.
I don't want
but moving forward, I also want to share something from New Horizons, and that's, have you ever looked beyond today into the future? picturing a world we've yet to see. So I'm hoping that we all keep moving forward. We all have some new horizons, and we're going to build off of what Stuart has given us for all these years and what we've endeavored to work with him to do. So thank you, Stuart. Thank you to our listeners, and good night, all.
And something unusual I'm going to say, I usually end it right there, but I do want to say something more. I want to thank John for taking over the show. I think he'll do a phenomenal job and a better job than I ever did. And I think you'll really enjoy the shows with John leading the way as the main host. So until then, see you real soon.